Hey Hezzoppers, long time no see. Thought I'd give you guys a little update and let you know that I'm not dead. I found something interesting today and it inspired me to post this video. In case any of you were wondering about the origins of Hezzop, this is it. This is a card game that I made when I was 11 years old. It's called Digital Warriors. Yeah. So, if that didn't give you a little bit of a hint, it is roughly based on Digimon and a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Two shows of which I was not allowed to watch as a child because my parents had some PTSD from the Pokemon era and were not keen on letting me ramp into another obsession that would drain my allowance. So instead, I made a card game that was based off of my vague idea of how both the Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh card game were played. As it turns out, it was nothing like either of them, but funny story, this game was actually more popular among my peer group than either of those games. They would actually ask to play this game with me rather than playing Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, which was kind of an honor. So I'm just gonna pull some of these out here. I laminated them because this is a memory worth preserving. And yeah, this is humbling. I am not a great artist, but I did my best. So so as you can see, let's kind of take a look at the card here. I would have a very limited space to draw, which is good because I was not quite good at drawing anyway. I have defense points up here, so this would be where their HP is. And I was still using dice back then, which kind of I carried over into Hezzop when I made Hezzop. And for each of those die rolls is a certain attack value. So if you roll 1, you do 500 damage. If you roll 3, you do 1500 damage. You get the idea. Some other cards, I can find one here. So some of these cards actually have effects on them. So here's one. Oh, look at that! Looks like a Togepi egg. So good thing I never published this. I probably would have gotten a bunch of cease and desist letters. But so some cards, even though they may not have been worth anything offensively, they would have like interesting effects. But yeah, some of my cards that were a little less effective offensively. As you see, if you roll 1, you do 1 damage. I don't know why I even wasted ink on that, but I did. Yeah, they would have some of these cool effects that you could use. Then I had these cards. I forgot what I called these cards. I think they were called trick cards. So these were very similar to like trainer cards. You could play these you could even play these face down. Again, I based this roughly on what my understanding of Yu-Gi-Oh was. You could basically place these face down in a defensive position, and people wouldn't know whether or not they were attacking a warrior or a trap. And I remember in this game you had to get through the defensive line of characters before you could reach the characters that were in attack mode. Now the characters that were in attack mode could only attack, or could attack. The characters in defense mode could just be abused, but they protected the characters that were in the attack mode. Yeah, it was an interesting game. As you can see, in case you were wondering what these black bars were on the side of the cards, I I made these roughly around the time that Nintendo had released the e-reader for the Game Boy Advance. If anyone remembers that, let me know. It did exist. I'm not crazy. And I thought it was the future of gaming. You slide a card with a strip on your Game Boy Advance, and you get to play a mini game. Who wouldn't want to lug that that bulky contraption around the rest of their lives. Again, good thing I didn't publish this during that time because it probably would have died along with the e-reader. Anyway, yeah. I tested this a lot with a lot of my friends. One I would like to give a shout out to back in the day is Todd. Todd he's been my friend since 3 years old. Oh, our dads were in an 80s Christian rock band together called In the Red. So that was the early origin of Hezzop, was my Digital Warriors card game. Then, when in high school, I met Zach Renier. Now, we didn't make a card game at that time. In high school, we were like aggressively into Halo. It wasn't until Zach got married and moved that I only got to visit him like, I don't know, 4 times a year. And when I went to Illinois to stay with him for the weekend, it just rained the whole time. And I told him, well, we can't do anything else. Why don't we make a card game? To which he responded, as he responds to most everything, interesting. What are we going to make? And I told him, I said, I've always wanted to make an RPG-style card game in the vein of Pokemon or Final Fantasy, but with regular playing cards and dice. So he got the cards out, we got the dice out, and we spent like the whole night just experimenting. We actually just invented it as we were playing it. So it was like we were making up rules as we went and retracting them when they didn't work. But we agreed on most everything. I remember the only disagreement we had was over whether or not all characters should be allowed to have status ailments. He said maybe just 2 characters can have status ailments, but not your entire team. How could you win if they all have status ailments? But I told him, no, I think it's fair to have all of them get affected. And to prove my point, I told him, Zach, all my characters have status ailments right now, which they did. If I beat you, we keep that rule in the game. Well, the rule's in the game, so you know what happened. Yeah, it's okay. I still don't think his idea was bad. I just thought that it was still possible to win with it. As I've mentioned to you guys countless times, I don't care what you do with the game. We made it up as we went, so you guys are always free to make any tweak you want to the game. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a little update, mainly because I found, had this little nostalgia bomb come up on me, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't have any plans to create a new card game. I've been bouncing some ideas around for years. I experimented with a condensed and fast version of Solitaire, which didn't work because I won it like 90% of the time, and that's not fun. So maybe I'll release that sometime when I actually find a way to make it challenging. And I haven't thought of any new 2 or more player games as of late, but if I do, I'll post them. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen to me talk about my embarrassing past. I'm going to try and forget those embarrassing pictures that I threw up while talking to you guys before they make me throw up. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Pray that inspiration strikes. Until then, keep on Hezzopping.